Leroy Baggins. This is 3B. ENT. You and I, riding down Brookshire Avenue in the summertime. I can't lie, when I ride uptown, I feel so alive. The Queen City right here by my side, and it's so divine. Top back with the sun rays on my face in the summertime.
Fresh pair of Ray-Bans, mommy love me, love her. She know what I doin'. I'm trying to get this money, trying to stack, trying to do it. I kick it to the max like Nike, what you doing? You know already gave it wintertime, so the summer, huh? She know what I'm talking about, I'm dipping in the Rover, huh? Like she don't know these tricks is for kids. I'm outside romancing, trying to hop in the Benz. Call my old head Mike, trying to hop in the 10. What they talking about? Them trying to follow us then. I mean, I could lock the club down, I could pop bottles, I could buy you diamonds, ropes, and see your ass tomorrow. My baby mother, she don't even start that thought of that. I'm outside at the club trying to goggle this. What she talking about? Summertime in the QC, huh? She know what the game about. I'm trying to hit a 3, huh?
You and I, riding down Brookshire Avenue in the summertime. I can't lie, when I ride uptown, I feel so alive. The Queen City right here by my side, and it's so divine. Top back with the sun rays on my face in the summertime. Riding down Brookshire Avenue in the summertime. I can't lie, when I ride uptown, I feel so alive. The Queen City right here by my side, and it's so divine. Top back with the sun rays on my face.
First things first, I freaks all the honeys, bunnies, playboy bunnies that's doing numbers. Cause I'm stacking this cash, I'm getting hundreds. It's a damn shame, it's changed the whole world looking funny. Cause I'm coming up fast, I'm in a hurry. I got this life like under control, I do not worry. I may have a side piece, but to my dreams I am married. I do not deal with old baggage, I do not carry myself like I'm less than a king. So like a king, you better know if die for my queen. I put my life on the line, hell yeah, I make a scene. Rolling in the range, me and mother looking clean. Me and my girl, we on the scene. I told her, me and you gon' ride though. So open up that side though, the spot we gon' slide through. This block party, ain't nobody fucking with my crew. I ain't studying no broad, me and my girl, we gon' cruise down the boulevard.
You and I, riding down Brookshire Avenue in the summertime. I can't lie, when I ride uptown, I feel so alive. The Queen City right here by my side, and it's so divine. Top back with the sun rays on my face in the summertime. Riding down Brookshire Avenue in the summertime. I can't lie, when I ride uptown, I feel so alive. The Queen City right here by my side, and it's so divine. Top back with the sun rays on my face in the summertime.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. I hope you got your TVs on. You probably don't. You probably don't have your TV on because I don't see the number on the dial. But welcome to another Finding Our Way Wednesday. We're going to get this thing rolling and the ball started. Let me start a TikTok out there. Hold on. Y'all know it's Wednesday, so we're going to have the motivation for my women out there. I think it's episode 308. Pretty sure. Go live. All right, so I'm gonna not waste no more of y'all time. Get y'all some motivation for y'all women. Motivation for women, and then we gonna go from there. You and I. My mouse is acting crazy. Is it going dead? None of my mouse don't like this mouse pad right now. All right. I would say I'm gonna keep it simple and just pick one that I see, but I'm not gonna do that. This one look good though. We gonna have to write it down and remember.
Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to do hard things.
All right, let's
But
go.
disciplined women know that it's much deeper than that. It's about strategy, self-awareness, and building habits that actually stick. So in this video, I'm sharing 8 habits that are backed by science that highly disciplined women live by. So you can stop relying on willpower and start creating real change. Now if you're returning, welcome back. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Tiffany, and I make content all about becoming the best version of yourself. Now, if that sounds like your vibe, girl, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you. Let's get into it. Discipline starts in the moments that most people give into. The scroll, the snack, the snooze button. This is where it begins. And one of the first habits disciplined women master is the power of delayed gratification. One of the most well-known studies on self-discipline is the Stanford Marshmallow Experience. In this study, children were given the choice to eat 1 marshmallow now or wait a little while and get 2. Years later, the children who waited showed higher academic achievement, better health, and more emotional control. Why? Because delayed gratification builds long-term thinking and impulse control, 2 critical traits of highly disciplined women. When you're tempted, whether it's scrolling on your phone, skipping your workout, or impulse shopping, I want you to use the 10-minute rule. Pause for 10 minutes before giving in.
Maybe
That
that's
short
why I
delay
be sitting
gives
there.
your logical brain time to catch
Maybe
up
that's why I
before
be sitting there
emotional
pausing.
impulse. So let's say you're scrolling on Instagram at night. You catch one of those ads go by, and then you get the urge to online shop. Before you know it, you find a cute $85 sweater in your cart. Instead of clicking buy now, set a 10-minute timer. During those 10 minutes, I want you to ask yourself, do I really need this? Will this still matter to me tomorrow? Most of the time, that emotional high fades, and you'll thank yourself later for saving some money, girl. That's delayed gratification in action. Disciplined women know every time you delay an impulse, you're casting a vote for the woman you're becoming, not the movie.
Hey,
But listen,
that's right. That's my
you
girl.
can delay that impulse all day. But if you're not sleeping, your discipline will still disappear by 3 p.m. Let's talk about how disciplined women protect their energy before the day even starts. Sleep is not a luxury, it's an essential form of discipline. And studies show that when you're sleep deprived, your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that's responsible for self control, focus, and decision making, becomes impaired. That's why even the most motivated women feel scattered and impulsive when they're running on fumes. Discipline starts the night before. And here's a powerful shift I got from Mel Robbins. Get into bed 1 hour before you actually want to fall asleep. And try your best to aim to be in bed for 9 hours total. So that means you're aiming for 8 hours of sleep. Determine your ideal wake time. Then count backwards 9 hours to set your bedtime. This is because it takes most people 10 to 30 minutes to fall asleep. By being in bed for 9 hours, you give yourself the best shot at consistently getting a full 8 hours of real restorative sleep, the kind your discipline depends on. So if you want to wake up at 6 a.m., your body should be in bed by 9 p.m. Imagine wanting to feel more energized and productive in the morning, but you're up late night scrolling and overthinking. Once you set a consistent bedtime and start winding down an hour before, your mornings transform. You're not just awake, you're alert, you're focused, and you're in control. Disciplined women don't burn out to get ahead. They protect their peace at night so they can show up powerful in the morning. Now, once your sleep is handled, you're clearer, calmer, and way more prepared for what life throws at you. And trust this, disciplined women don't just hope for good days, they plan for the mess. We've all heard the advice to
That's my
visualize your
girl.
goals, but science says visualizing obstacles is just as important. Psychologist Gabrielle Oettingen developed a method called mental contrasting, which combines positive thinking with realistic planning. Her research shows that when we imagine our ideal outcome and anticipate for roadblocks, we're far more likely to follow through. It's not pessimism, it's preparation. Every morning, I want you to ask yourself, what might get in my way today? Then create an if then plan. This is called implementation intention, and it's incredibly effective. For example, if I feel too tired to work out after work, I'll do a 10-minute stretch instead. It removes the decision making pressure and keeps you consistent, even on hard days. Let's just say your goal is to eat healthier, and your biggest obstacle is hitting the drive through when you're stressed or tired. Mental contrasting would have you visualize your healthy eating goal and the moment when that fast food craving hits. So you plan ahead. If I feel tempted to stop at a drive through, then I'll grab the protein snack I packed in my bag. Now, that's not just wishful thinking, that's a system. You're replacing the reaction with a prepared response. Disciplined women don't just hope everything goes smooth, they expect challenges and plan for them. And that's why they stay consistent. Because when life gets to life, and it will, they already have a backup plan. But it's not just about preparing mentally. Disciplined women know that what's around you can make or break your focus. So let's talk about how your environment could be working against your goals. Willpower is not the most reliable strategy for self-discipline. Your environment is. Behavioral design expert BJ Fogg found that our surroundings influence our actions far more than we realize. In fact, environmental cues can trigger habits automatically without us even thinking about them. So instead of trying harder, disciplined women set up their spaces to make good choices the easiest choices. So that means if you want to eat healthier, put a bowl of fruit on the counter and move the chips
That's
to
my
a high
girl.
shelf or somewhere
Ah.
convenient. Make the healthy option obvious and the tempting one harder to access.
To
This reduces
access,
friction
right.
for the good habit and increases it for
That's
the bad
my
one.
girl.
So for me,
I
for
be
example,
doing that. I be doing that to myself anyway
crunchier the
with
better.
other stuff.
Man, I could finish a whole bag without even realizing it. And that's why I try not to keep them in the house. But I have a daughter, so every now and then those chips, they end up in the grocery cart. So here's what I do. I don't keep them anywhere where they're easy to see or easy to reach. Like I might put them on the top shelf in the pantry, way in the bag. And instead, I try to keep fruits or something healthy on my desk while I work. That way, when I catch myself reaching for a snack, I can pause and ask, do I really want this? Or am I just bored, tired, or looking for a distraction? That
Right.
little
You know
shift
what?
has been such a
Hey.
game changer for me.
Hey, girl, you
Disciplined
know.
women set up their environment
That's why we
to
do this.
support the woman that they're becoming.
Hey, what's
not
up,
tempt
Zanita
them
67?
back into
Good
old
to see
habits.
you too.
You don't need more willpower. You need better surroundings. If you want to change your life, start by changing what surrounds you. And once your space is set up to support you, it's time to protect your
Motivation
mental
from a
bandwidth.
women right there.
Because girl, decision
Oh, I can't
fatigue
even
is
type
real.
my chat.
And disciplined women don't waste their brain power
Good to see you
on
too.
what to eat and what
Zanita
to
67.
wear. Every
Imagine being able to
Oh, imagine an ad popped up right as
just
you was
by
trying to
thinking
get
about
the message out to the people. All right, a couple more seconds.
make, what to wear, what to eat, when to check email, uses up a bit of our mental energy. This is known as decision fatigue, and it's why our willpower tends to crumble by the end of the day. And research shows that the more decisions we make, the worse the quality of those decisions becomes. Disciplined
I
women
like her.
reduce unnecessary
I
choices,
ain't never think
so
of that.
they can stay focused on what actually matters. I want you to try to simplify your routines. Use a weekly meal plan. Prep your outfits in advance. Or adopt a
Right,
workday
so that
uniform.
stuff is
With
easy.
neutral basics, you can mix them.
So the-
The goal isn't to be
So that stuff is so that stuff is easy right there. You knock that out. You already had that laid out, ironed up, prepped up. And then when you got to go make that $100,000 decision, you're fresh. You wasn't thinking about what outfit and how you looked at that moment. You had that planned already. I like that.
Boring.
Well,
It's
yeah,
to
we
save
ironing the night before, the week before, the month before. I got a whole month worth of clothes already ironed.
power for high impact decisions. Let's just say you're juggling a busy job.
Hold on.
Neutral basics, you can outfits in advance or adopt a workday uniform. With neutral basics, you can mix and match. The goal isn't to be boring, it's to save brain power for high impact decisions. Let's just say you're juggling a busy job, a side hustle, and personal goals. By 6 p.m., you've already made hundreds of micro decisions, from work emails to what to post on social media. So when it's time to choose what to cook
right.
for dinner, you're drained.
Right.
Takeout happens.
And that's
Or
when you
skip
just like, yep, I'ma just go ahead and go out to Papa John's, Dan.
because the thought of deciding what workout to do feels like too much. Now imagine you planned your meals on Sunday, prepped your gym clothes, and created a default schedule for posting content. Those decisions are already made. You're not
Yes, sir.
overwhelmed. You're
I mean,
free
yes,
to
ma'am.
follow through.
Yes, ma'am.
Disciplined women
Yes, ma'am.
don't waste energy deciding the same things every day. They automate the small stuff so they can stay consistent with the big stuff. And once your mind is freed up, you can finally focus on your goals. But here's the trick. Disciplined women don't try to do everything at once. They break it all the way down. The Zeigarnik effect explains
All right,
that
this
our
the last bit.
brains are naturally drawn to unfinished tasks. That's why to-do lists and small wins feel so satisfying. They give our minds closure and build momentum.
Right.
Research in habit formation also shows that starting small dramatically increases consistency and long-term success. When we try to change everything at once, we often end up doing nothing. It's not laziness, it's overload. If your goal seems too big, I want you to shrink it until it feels laughably easy. So instead
That's my girl. Hey, listen. Hold on. Let me switch back over. Listen, she just made me feel so much better about just being me and how I manage and do things. And to be honest, I just posted a post on social media about the new stream I'm about to be I'm working on right now as we speak. So it's like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and then I still gotta get ahead of this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what up, Germ? They ain't coming in with the sample packs. Hey, you already know. This, hey, I'm glad to see you in here, bro. You get to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? That's the last bit of that, though.
I'll work out 5 days a week. Say
We
I'll
gon'
walk for 10
we gonna definitely sub her page and like that. But welcome to another Finding Our Way Wednesday. I hope y'all really are motivated, even if you're not a woman, by that message that was just given by her. It really put me in a nice little place to say, hey, all right, I'm gonna just give you the picture that I'm talking about. So I decided that I needed to to change my environment a little bit a little bit. I had to try to figure out how I'm gonna do it, because I hate seeing all my stuff just sprawled around. You see what I'm saying? Like pulling out stuff, pulling this out, doing this, and then leaving it there and for 2 days, and then coming back and like, oh, I was supposed to straighten this and get back to this and move. And I don't like doing that. You see what I'm saying? Been talking about getting my calendar structure together, and ooh, yeah, exactly. I'm about to pin that. Exactly, bruh. You see the calendar or the board back here in the background. You see my little stuff back here in the background. But anyway, I've been trying to move stuff. You gonna like this too, Germ. So I was trying to figure out how much time it's gonna take, because I know where y'all see me sitting at right now, it take a lot for me to get this up and running and functioning. When I post or you see that notification come in and say rebuilding, because that's what it's gonna say, under construction, rebuilding, you better believe that it's gonna be under gonna get this quality of stream. You ain't gonna have a nice little box over here, you know what I'm saying, with the nice logos and the Dan F Man. You might still get the Dan F Man down there because I need you to see all my social medias. But you get what I'm saying? It's not going to be like that because I have to take the time to do that. So today I got up, or yesterday, what's today? What today? Today your birthday? What's today? Twitch, clip that. So I got up yesterday. Let me make sure I'm right. Yep, I got up yesterday and today. So it's only been 2 days. And I worked 1 hour. 1.5 hours yesterday and 1 hour today. But we just going to count an hour on getting the new layout and structure that I got, that I'm planning. Also, on top of that, I worked out starting time for when I'm supposed to be sitting in this chair ready to start this stream. Not only that, I even got a starting work time from now on instead of just lollygagging. Hey, Dan, you got to be to work at 7 a.m. every day. I don't give a damn. I'm slap you. Excuse my language. You 7 a.m. I don't care. 7 a.m. You up and you working. Now, you can push that back to earlier. Yeah, I got to get in here and get some work done. You can do whatever you want to do, Dan, but 7 a.m. is when I need you, boy. So, that right there is giving me not only just the structure, but I can attack these things with jab at a time. And then eventually, I'm coming with an overhand. I'm coming with a straight overhand. Twitch, clip that. Anyway, that's just me trying to give you the picture of how I'm approaching or attacking the goals that I'm setting in front of me. But today is Finding Our Way Wednesday. I know that was a bit long. I like the motivation. Honestly, I like the motivation for my women, and I like the motivation just in general. I'm glad we started doing that at the beginning of every one of these shows of Expansion Pack. All right, so let me see what the topic is for today. All right, so today we talking about reduction. All right, subtraction, taken away. Yes, I did look up how to spell and definition just to make sure. Reduction. Hold on, let me adjust my mic. So the reason why it came to mind on reduction was nothing. I didn't have no reason on why I was talking about reduction. It just said, I was like, hey, the topic for today, reduction. Boom. We in there. I ain't going to challenge it. We ain't going to go against it. That's what it is. So I really want to say, when I look at the word in itself as it pertains to, remember, we staying on topic, Finding Our Way Wednesday. What's up, man? I like your outfit. I don't know. What did we do yesterday? What did you do yesterday? Hold on, y'all. Micro decisions. Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you work on your multiplications? Get a head start on that. Oh, so you had the notebook in your hand already? That's a good job. That's a great sons right there. Y'all go ahead, work on them. You going to 20? All right. Yep. 15 times 1 all the way down to 15 times 20, and then 16 down to 20, and all so on and so forth. Get a calculator. Okay. And y'all can use it together. That was great. That was great. They worked it out. They already knew what to do. They just needed approval. I give that stamp. All right. So reduction. Now, if we looking for a way to go, it would be best to know where we don't want to be, right? I think that's better than if you look at the options that you got on the table from what I just said, if you look at that, that is the best part about trying to find your way. That's the best thing to do, best strategy. King, where you at? Let me see you. Come over here so I can see you. If you looking on the map and you like, dang man, I want to go get something to eat, but I don't want pizza, that automatically puts you in a better position. So reduction is good. Reduction is good in that scenario. All right. Now, when you are lost and you don't know which way to go, even then, reduction can be useful. I ain't walking that way because it looked bad over there. And I ain't come from that way. There you go. That's reduction. We ain't going that way. We not doing that. All right. Now, when you're trying to find your way, we're going to stay specific to our topic. When you're trying to find your way, all you might need is to reduce some of them options. Take away some of those things that you got on the table. And you might find your way a little bit faster, a little bit easier, and honestly, just actually get to where you're going. So let's look at this real quick. Let's watch a video. Let's see what they give us if I just type that in. Reduction. I did put choices behind it. No, we can't watch TED Talks. Nope. All right, now we got to put on the filter. Hey, yeah, now this gonna be good. Oh, this gonna be good.
Let your child build their own plate.
Hey. I thought this should be longer.
Idea. Let your child build their own plate.
Set out a few simple foods. Let them pick what goes on and how much.
This isn't about giving in. This is about giving control.
A lot of picky eating isn't about the food at all. It's about needing to feel in control of something.
When kids build their own plate, dinner stops being a fight. It becomes their choice.
Hey, now, so look, check this out. This is good. Y'all just gave me a whole different way to look at this. A problem I've been having. Last night we had some burritos, and I just put the stuff down, and the kids was able to get what they. Now I did make Eli get some tomatoes. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, hey, you gotta get the tomatoes, bro. You gotta get them. But for the most part, he chose everything he wanted, other than the tomatoes. How to reduce choices. Let's be specific then. I gotta put on the filter. If I don't, they going. Ooh, yeah, this gonna be good.
If you know you have got the potential, and if
That's
you
my
know
girl.
what's the action that you need to be taking right now, why aren't you taking action? Why aren't you moving towards your goal? Why are you procrastinating things? I'll share something and let me know if you can relate to it. You find yourself really energized in the first half of the day, but by 3 or 4 p.m., you are really drained. You cannot even decide which food to eat, and by bedtime, you find yourself scrolling instead of sleeping, and you cannot even decide to stop. This isn't laziness, it's your brain literally running out of fuel. And we are going to talk about the science behind it in this video. Let's start. Alright, let's get started by understanding what decision fatigue is, because once you understand this concept, you will know why we are not being able to take right decisions, why we are procrastinating things, why we are avoiding tasks even when we know that they are important. The concept of decision fatigue says that when our brain takes a series of decisions, it gets tired. because our brain already consumes a lot of energy, and when we ask the prefrontal cortex to take more decisions, it gets tired very easily. And do you know how many decisions we take in a day? Roughly, we
Let me
take
see.
around 35,000 decisions in a day.
Nuh-uh.
And that's a really big number, right?
There
And no
is
matter how
there is no way I'm making 35,000 decisions a day. Oh my gosh. That's why when y'all see me, hey, I got to sit down. Whoa. I thought she was about to say like I promise you I thought she was about to be like 10, maybe I say like 5,000. I would ask for participation and ask y'all to like drop in the chat and tell me how many decisions you think you make in a day, but y'all might not drop in the chat. But I did not expect her to say no 35,000. I tell you that much right now. Let me get back to the video, y'all.
all the decision is, no matter tired very easily. And do you know how many decisions we take in a day? Roughly, we take around 35,000 decisions in a day. And that's a really big number, right?
That's
and no matter how
huge.
small the decision is, no matter even if the decision is like whether to keep sleeping or wake up, what to wear today, what breakfast to eat today, which shoes to wear today. Even though the decisions might be very small, it consumes a lot of energy and then slowly starts draining the part of the brain that is responsible for decision making. And when it comes to big decisions, we end up taking wrong decisions because we already had that load and we are already tired. And what makes this problem even worse is that we live in a time where we have access to more options than ever before. When we go to a supermarket, now we have to choose from thousands of food options. Even when we want to watch a movie, now we have so many options to choose from. YouTube videos, which AI model to use, which clothes to wear, which moisturizer to put on. We have so many options these days. And you might say that having options are a good thing, isn't it? But the problem is that when we have so many options to choose from, sometimes we end up choosing nothing. And most of the time, we end up choosing something that is the most easier and the most pleasurable to us. We will be talking more about what problems do the decision fatigue lead to, and we'll start with the most common one, and that is procrastination. It's something that we all are familiar with and we all tend to do. So let's try to understand how decision fatigue leads to procrastination.
Hey, appreciate the
See,
sub.
what happens is that when we decide to do an activity and when our brain is already really tired of making all the decisions and no longer has the energy to take any new decisions, we find it very difficult to determine where to get started with. Let's say you have decided that once I come back from office, I will learn some video editing. But once you come back home, if you have decision fatigue, then it's very difficult to decide which source to use for learning, where to get started with, which creator to follow in order to learn editing, for example. It's very similar with all other decisions. When we cannot take a decision on where to get started with, the most easier option is to say, I'll do it later. And that's how procrastination is born. The second problem that comes with decision fatigue is impulses. When we cannot take right decisions, the impulses takes over and we start doing things that are the most pleasurable to us. That is why when we are tired, we fall into the trap of social media. We fall into scrolling. We fall into eating junk food. And after we have the guilt of doing these activities, we fall more into this trap because we seek more dopamine. And that is how, when we
That's
have
what-
decision fatigue,
All right.
we tend to take
That's what that right there is what I'm going for right there. I'm going for the control of that dopamine. Now, if you done been watching at least a couple episodes of Expansion Pack with me for a little while, you already done learned about all of the little different neurotransmitters and chemicals in your brain that's making you feel the way you want, all the way from melatonin to serotonin to dopamine and all of this stuff. Now, to be honest with you, if you don't even hear the words, don't study the stuff, you still know what it is and experience it every day. So you might as well get a little bit of knowledge about it. Now, my focus has not been on regulating dopamine. My focus has been regulating sleep, and then not noticing it. I'm honestly just regulating those same chemicals that I just spoke about. So that's why I paused the video just now, just to say, hey, that's where my focus is going to be, on the actual chemical side of it, because we see the chemicals as the emotions that we express, or the emotions that we feel on the inside that maybe we don't express. Like, you may be upset. That's a mix of that serotonin and that little melatonin and get the squirreling on you. You know what I'm saying? Or you may be happy. That's that serotonin, that dopamine on you right there. You know what I'm saying? Or you sleepy. That melatonin in it. You get what I'm saying? They mixing. We mixing now. And I'm a pay attention to that. Go ahead, girl. Talk your talk.
Reasons which are not under our control, but which are under the control of our pleasure, of our desires. What would give us dopamine, for example? That is why you might have seen that it's very difficult to control our impulses, especially towards the evening when we are already really tired. The third major problem that comes with decision fatigue is avoidance. I have realized it myself that when I have to choose from some really important options, I decide to choose nothing sometimes. Like when I have to decide which book to read, I might just skip doing that task at all. Or when I have to decide which gadget to purchase and I'm very confused about what to choose, I just delay the decision and later I just skip that task at all and just go on with using whatever I'm using. You might have realized that when we have to choose between these options, which light to buy, which software to install, and when the decision is difficult, sometimes we just tend to do nothing. Till now, we have just talked about the problems, but let's now get into the solutions and learn how we can minimize decision fatigue and how we can take the best decisions. I'm going to...
Is it fair that I don't want to hear the solutions? My reasoning that not wanting to hear the solutions is because the problem is obvious. You got, but we ain't even really hit it yet. You see what I'm saying? The problem is obvious. You got too much on your plate. There it is. I said it. You see what I'm saying? But we ain't really hit it yet. That ain't you. You got a lot of money in the bank account right now and don't know what to spend it on. Yeah, I hit you with a left hook. I will hit you with a left hook. Do you understand? That's not a... When you look at it from someone else's perspective, my guy, that's not a problem. You get what I'm saying? Having too many movies to watch and you don't know which movie to watch, and when you look at it from another person's perspective, that's not really your problem, my guy. Because somebody over there and somewhere ain't got nothing. They ain't even watching nothing. They looking at the clouds and they happy about it. You see what I'm saying? So let's hit it. Let's hit what the real problem is. The real problem is that we got no measurement of time, boy. You ain't got no measurement of time? What time is it right now? It's 9:27. It's 9:35. I'm 8 minutes off. The reason why that's such a problem when it comes to reduction, remember, don't forget the topic of the day. The reason why it's such a problem when you're talking about reduction is because if you can't measure when the sun is going to go down and going to rise again, then you're going to stay out of rhythm. And then all of those choices that you seemingly have, yes, they're going to become the problem, and so on and so forth. So now when we looking at reduction, let's break it down. Let's reduce them. Let's reduce them now. And I had to pause the video. We will watch the solutions. We probably stay on this video. But let's break it down real quick. You got 24 hours. Now, I'm happy. I don't know what that was. It fell out of my pocket. I'm happy that you chose to spend part of that 24 with me. Maybe you only spent 36 minutes in here with me. You've been in here for 36 minutes. But you still only have 34. I mean, I'm talking about 34. 24 hours in a day. You understand me? Nobody clipped that. Nobody. You still only have 24 hours in a day. Now, let's measure this out. If it takes you 24 hours to do one task, how many tasks can you get done in a month? All right, however long 24 times a month long is. Do you see? And that's how many tasks you've done in that month. If you don't measure your life in that way at some point, then you're missing out on, I don't want to say opportunity, but you're missing out on the opportunities that life is giving you through experience. Now, we all breathe, we all move, we all walk, we all talk. That's the experience. Now, what you want to say, where you want to go, how you want to be is up to you. And that's part of the experience too. It's not all laid out for you like that. So when you have so many options, the only true bad option is to not experience an option unless, and the only reason that's bad is if you choose to experience an option. If you choose to experience and be out here and you ain't out here experiencing, then you losing. Honestly, it boils down to the fact that until you reach a certain, I feel, this is my honest opinion, until you reach a certain level of maturity, you think you got forever. I got forever, man. You go out here tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow, Brad. Brad, we're going to do it tomorrow. Pack it up. Everyone go home. You want a beer? You do it tomorrow, Brad. And so let's reduce some of that time you think you got down to just 24 hours today. Because when you go to sleep, you're no longer present. Now, if you doing what you doing out there in the street and you trying to stay awake forever, you know what I'm saying? Or you taking medication or whatever you trying to do, energy drinks, and trying to stay awake forever, that is a version of you that maybe you feel like you got more than 24 hours. But you ain't got more than 24 hours, bro. You do not have more than, I don't know where that sound came from. You do not have more than 24 hours. You can stay up for 4 days, but it was really 24 hours apiece. Now, the reason why I'm even mentioning that and being so heavy on that and putting so much passion into that is because there's no way that you're going to reduce anything and get a better decision if you don't have some sort of internal feeling on how much time you have to do anything. If that task can't get done today, you have to do parts of that task that can get done today. Y'all check out the latest marathon stream I got coming up. I'm knocking some parts of that task out now. All right, anyway, back to what she said on the solutions.
4 solutions with you, and the first one is scheduling. Scheduling is something that has worked the best for me because
Whoa. I'm sorry, and I'm not being funny at all, but that just blew my mind. I have to look at the screen when she says certain words. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to share 4 solutions with you, and the first one is scheduling. Scheduling is something that has worked the best for me because once I started writing journals, previously I didn't used to write what to do tomorrow, but then lately what I have started doing is that I plan my day earlier at the day before in the evening while I'm writing my journal. And I have realized this, that when I'm out of my home and when I have not written my journal, the next day seems to be a bit messy because I do not have the decisions on what to do. So I randomly waste my time deciding on what to do and what not to do, and that takes up a lot of my mental energy. But during the days when I have written my journal, when I have planned my day, when I know what I'm supposed to do at what time, it makes things really easier for me because I do not have to keep deciding on what to do. And another important thing is that because I will have done that the day before, my brain will have processed what I'm supposed to do, and it helps my brain to take decisions. The second solution that can be very helpful is bulk planning. Bulk planning refers to planning a series of actions at once so that we do not have to waste our time planning the same thing again and again. For example, during the weekends, you can plan on which pair of clothes you want to wear throughout the week, or you can plan on the diet on weekends. You can plan the diet for throughout the week so that you do not have to take the decision every single day. So this is called bulk planning. Another effective solution can be building patterns. You might have seen a lot of successful people wearing the same clothes every single day.
Hold
You
up,
might
hold
see
up.
people having
Hold up. Did y'all see that? Look at the outfit.
wearing the same clothes every single day. You might see people having the same diet plan and they stick to it so that they do not have to take decisions every day.
I was just
This
talking
can
about
also
this.
be very similar to building habits. You wake up at the same time. You start working at the same time.
Exactly.
You form patterns which helps us to take less decisions and then just stick to what you have pre-decided. And I believe that this is something that helps me as well. When I'm making these videos, I usually like wearing a black t-shirt because sometimes what happens is that I just keep on thinking on which t-shirt to wear, and then I just keep on thinking about it and get tired. But when I just have this plan that I'll just be wearing a black
Wear a
t-shirt
black
in
shirt,
my video
it's
no
like-
matter what, it's so easier. I just have to go ahead, fetch my t-shirt, wear it, and then I'm done. So building patterns
like a black
is
t-shirt
something
too,
that I feel
but I
has
got
really
on my
helped
white
me,
tee.
and then it can be a great way of taking less decisions in life. Using similar kind of clothes, similar skincare products, similar kind of maybe shoes, it's something that has helped me as well, can really help us to take less decisions in life. Another solution that can minimize the problems with taking
last
a lot
one.
of decisions can be allocating the decision making task to somebody else. If you look at my
now that's
clothes,
my favorite
most
one.
of them have been
That's my
chosen by
favorite
my
one.
mother because she's better than me at this task, and then I find this decision to be really difficult one. In a similar manner, if you have a decision to take that is not going to make a lot of difference, like what kind of food should I eat, or very smaller decisions like which design to proceed forward with when it comes to a social media flyer, you can let others decide for you so that you do not really have to waste your time taking decisions which are not that significant. So that when you save your energy from these smaller decisions which are not significant, you can dedicate your time, your energy, and your decision making power for something that is way more important. That is thing that is going to make a big impact on your life. That's all for today, and stay connected and subscribe to the channel.
That's my girl. You keep on making these videos, girl. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit sub on you. You know what I'm saying? Go back to regular YouTube. So that's when I thought of reduction to actually be the topic today. I thought it was great. I didn't ask no questions like I told the story at the beginning. All I did was say, hey, boom, that's what it is. I feel that. Let's go with that.
I tried everything.
Hold on.
Coffee.
I'm trying to get this started. But to be honest with you, it sounds so much easier than it is necessarily in practice. Because when you think about it, you do want to have a lot of choices. You do want to have a lot of options out there that could possibly be the one. But without a system to kind of break it down and get there, you're going to be scrambling. Now, this how it feels in me. This what I really see. This what I really do. This how it really be. You be picking, you be choosing, you be losing sometimes. And when you win, you like, man, the one I chose was one time, the only time that it could be. The only time that you could see. The way that you gonna go and the way that this gonna be. Now, the reason I just did that is because I could like talk to you. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like sometimes the message it get kind of blocked. And I literally make a mental choice not to go into like song. Put it like this. Somebody had told me that they didn't like when the people in the movie broke out in song. And I was like, man, hey, sometimes you just got to let that thing loose, baby. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, reduction or reducing the number of choices is the only option to find your way. Through a lot of choices, decisions, whatever it could be. It could be something small as, you know, what you gonna eat for lunch, like we've been talking about. Reducing down until you can't reduce no more and you only got one thing left. Now you pick up a lot of different options, but what do you do when you get all the way to choosing? You only pick one. You may have 5 people ready to make the band. And out of them five, hold on, wait, you got 20 people ready to make the band, right? And you can only choose 5 people. Well, them 5 people gonna make one band. So, reduction. We got to put something under that little denominator, baby. Something under that denominator. All right, y'all. So, as we wind down this episode for the day, I'm going to get us something else to watch. Something fun, more so. And don't forget, Healthy Mental Thursday tomorrow. If you got any suggestions, anything you want to talk about. I hope I was on beat for that rap. Sometimes the beat be off a little bit. But if you got anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to share, want me to talk about, want us to get into, make sure you hit me up. You know my number, you know my social media. Just go ahead, drop it in there. There's Healthy Mental Thursday tomorrow, and then there's Fun Fact Friday coming up. We take a week off. In that week, I will be getting this marathon stream all the way put together, overlays, all of that stuff. So don't miss me too much, because y'all ain't gonna get me playing the game in here, just chilling playing the game like that on stream, unless I really feel like it. So I'm gonna be off stream other than expansion pack. So hit me up, catch me. I'm gonna post some clips, but I will be back for the back to school marathon. I ain't worked out the complete total number of days, but it's probably gonna be a week, whole total week, right, leading up into the first day of school. So y'all get in here, we'll do some school shopping. We do all of that type of stuff for the marathon stream, sleep streams, all of that, playing the game, chilling just before we go back to school and get ready for all of the stuff we do when school is in. So this has been my nice little commercial break with the beat in the background. Let's watch something fun. Yeah, now if I do say so myself, this beat, it sounds good. It gives me a little bit of spirit that makes me move. Toe and tap my feet onto the beat. I'm running on the street. I gotta make sure that you gonna get more. Let's go watch something that will unlock and open doors up in your mind space. Gonna be fine, great. Hold on to me. We gon' jump and go fly away. Yeah. I have too many choices. Let's see what they got for us. Let's watch this.
So
all right, y'all.
I'm writing an essay on cats. Cats in art history. I'm an art history major.
If If you're anything like me, you've turned on Netflix at the end of the day to relax, only to find yourself completely overwhelmed by thousands of options of things to watch. Or maybe you found yourself totally stuck in a cereal aisle because you just can't decide what will make you happier, the granola with the pecans and maple or the one with cashews and honey. Situations like this are becoming more and more common as all kinds of products target people's specific tastes. And while having lots of choices might sound like a great idea, research has found that actually having lots of choices won't always make you as happy as you'd think. There really can be too much choice. Take your cereal aisle situation. That's an example of what's called choice overload, also known as the paradox of choice. It's what happens when you have so many options that having to choose puts a damper on your experience. And psychology research has shown that choice overload isn't just frustrating, it can really influence how you act. For example, in one study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 2000, researchers from Columbia and Stanford set up a table of jam samples in a grocery store in California. They were trying to see what setup would entice the most customers to make a purchase. On one Sunday, they offered only 6 samples. On another Sunday, they offered 24. On both days, people who dropped by typically sampled just 1 or 2 jars of jam. But the larger display, on the second Sunday, drew more visitors. Except there was one thing. Only 3% of those customers actually bought jam after sampling it. On the other hand, almost a third of customers who visited the smaller display, the one on the first Sunday, bought something afterward.
Wow.
The researchers concluded that although customers were more attracted to the larger display, the overwhelming amount of choice actually discouraged them from picking one jam to buy. Of course, it's not like people don't want to make choices at all. Another study reported in the same paper looked at what amount of choice gave people the most satisfaction. In this case, psychologists offered chocolate to groups of university students. In one group, students got to choose
want some
one
chocolate right
out of
now.
6. In a second group, students could choose 1 out of 30. And in a third group, the students had no choice at all. The researchers just handed them a chocolate. In each case, the students were asked to eat and rate the chocolate. According to what they reported, the students who were asked to choose 1 chocolate from 6 enjoyed their choice the most. Those who chose out of 30 chocolates were less satisfied. But the group that had no choice at all reported the least satisfaction with what they were given. Both of these studies showed that people want choice, but those with too much choice are generally less satisfied than those with a more limited choice. And researchers think that comes down to 2 main issues. The first is that when we have more choices, we have higher expectations. We tend to think that with more choices, we can get closer to the thing we really want, which means it's easier to be disappointed. The second is that when we have more things to choose from, we also end up with more regret, because we're more likely to look back and wonder if one of the other choices would have been better. But even though having more choice won't actually improve our lives, studies have found that some people will go out of their way to have more options because they assume it'll make them happier. For example, a 2009 article in the journal Personality and Individual Differences described a study in which psychologists surveyed people at 2 ice cream parlors in Vancouver. One was in a downtown area that was easy to walk to but had fewer selections. Another was a car ride away but offered more flavors. The researchers found that many people who wanted to make the best possible choice went to the place with the bigger menu, but they reported less satisfaction with their choices than similar customers at the simpler local parlor. Unfortunately, these days, it's hard to completely avoid choice overload, especially if you live somewhere with a high focus on consumerism. You're bombarded with choices all of the time, like when you buy groceries, or pick out your clothes, or look for a 401k plan. And since the decisions you make in an instant can affect the rest of your life, it's worth knowing that you may not make your best decisions when you're overwhelmed with options. You might not be able to change that, but you can make other changes in your life. At the very least, you can remember that going out of your way to have more choices won't always make you happier. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow, and thanks especially to our patrons on Patreon who make it possible for us to...
That's my girl right there. So I think today was very productive in terms of getting a new viewpoint or a different viewpoint on what it is that we expect when we see all of the choices that we have in front of us. You can, if you didn't learn this word, I learned it. You can suffer from decision fatigue because you just keep making decisions and decisions and decisions, and then you got to make some more decisions on what decisions you're going to make, and then dinner is fast food. You see what I'm saying? Twitch clip that. So reducing some of those choices is the only option Reduction is the only option, and it produces a better result, if you ask me. Or if you would probably look at the situation yourself, whatever situation, it comes down to one thing. Hey, Mr. President, we got 3 choices for you. I can only pick one. You see what I'm saying? Well, Mr. President, on this one, it actually has 3 choices under each one, so you have to pick 3 when you pick one, and then that's just me playing around. All right, y'all. Tomorrow is Healthy Mental Thursday. Y'all make sure y'all stick around for the song that I'm going to play. I think that I'll play this one. I like this song. I was supposed to play it yesterday, but I didn't. So I'm going to play it today. Y'all make sure y'all tune in with us tomorrow. Healthy Mental Thursday. That's what's up, Roy Cooper. Y'all make sure y'all stick around for this song. Y'all make sure y'all tune in with me tomorrow. Healthy Mental Thursday and Fun Fact Friday. And then I'll be off. Make sure you tune in to all of the marathon stream stuff I got coming up, or anytime you see that notification come through on your phone, make sure you drop in and be like, hey Dan, what you doing, where you at, where you been? Now y'all say it with me. Now y'all ready? I'm gonna give you a countdown. Here you go. 3, 2, 1. This is DGTA TV.
In the basement.
Chip.
Even in the professional.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
But you won't hear your tracks everywhere.
Peace.
Just waiting to get on. Just listen. Learn something.
Yo, I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, let me get it. I'm winning this game, home run, hit independent. Did it all independent, dropping tracks from a distance on your head, y'all. Better make your head nod. Waited for a while, now I'm like, hold up, wait a second. All of the mistakes that I made were just lessons. So now I can preach and reach all of my brethren who want to make an investment into your music. You're stepping into something that you better pay attention to. Gang, 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 you might say it and it sound recordable. When you in the industry, how many units can you move? They'll put you on the shelf collecting dust until you pay your dues. So hold up, wait, just give me a second before you cut this off, cause I ain't rapping about weapons on my chain drip. We've been in chains since the slave ship. Now all we talk about is how many whips you can get. All that I'm saying is, young brother, just sit and listen a bit. This is artist development. If you brush me off, you'll be where I've been, making songs about a big body Benz that you ain't never had. You better off making songs that'll make your mama glad. Instead she talking about cut it out. I don't wanna hear it at all. But when you making music from your heart, that problem solved. Hold up, wait just a minute. How could I tell you all of this if I ain't did it? Just think of me as a prophet, giving you a prediction that it's hard to get fame, even harder once you get it. We often fantasize because we handle what's envisioned. I just say define success for you and go the distance. Hold up, wait, pause, are you serious? I really don't want to be famous, not even curious. I'm just doing this now cause my knowledge need to be dropped. And what better way for you to learn while hearing the beat drop?
All my young people, don't get fooled by the trickery. Don't get fooled by the lies. Do it from your heart, do it for you. Build it, and they shall come.
Once upon a time, there was a little boy, his name don't really matter. The matter of the fact is that he wanna be a rapper. Started singing every song he heard like he made him. He really didn't know that this was perfect training. He started thinking about what he would do when he made it. He had big dreams with no plans, no guidance supporting him. Nobody knew where he was trying to go, cause they ain't never been there. This is big business, your mama not here. Still wanna be a rapper? Okay, then come here. I'll teach you what you need to know, but hold up, wait, you better know that everybody don't care about you. Don't take it personal, just stay under my wing and we gon' fly right off the pedestal. This kid got potential, this kid spit flame. That's what they be saying when they hear Lil Dan, but Big Dan F man is like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm giving them something that I didn't get when I did it. That's a realistic picture of success defined. You might have to wait a minute just for you to show up right on time. This story is for you, and I hope that you find it, rewind it, dissect every line, find the silver lining. I want you to hold up, wait a second, plan it out. Perseverance keep you consistent, and yes, you'll find this out. Hold up, wait, think about it. You just need what you got, so you already done found it. You resonate in a way that is really so astounding. So if you wanna make it, just figure out where you making it to. Support yourself and know who's there to help, and don't get it confused. Take your time.
time to think, cause it can decide if you win and you lose. The song for everybody, making music that we gon' consume. All I wanna do is tell you to put your heart in. This song is the starter package to start in. I'm still making heart music. Enough said.